Good morning. This is Letitia Hinton, and I want to talk today about the energy of the number 5. I know oftentimes when we look to numerology, we are looking at our life path number, we're looking at our destiny number, our birthday number, so forth and so on. But I think that it is really important to pay attention to the messages from Spirit. The Spirit is always speaking. And I think sometimes we miss the signals, we miss the messages that are coming through. And so oftentimes when we see numbers, even when we hear about, there are some videos and some things that we can search online about seeing repeating numbers. But I think that it's even more simple than just seeing repeating numbers. Oftentimes, if you are driving down the highway and you see some numbers on a sign and they stand out to you, like for some reason they are lit up. Not that there is a glowing light that is around the number, but it jumps out at you in a way that the other numbers don't. You know, like on an exit, you may see the number 41, which in numerology it equals 5 because 4 plus 1 equals 5. You may see the number 23 stand out to you. You get a receipt and your number is number 23. And that is the number 5. But it's different than the 5 of the 41 because the numbers that build it are different. There's a different energy in the numbers 2 and 3 than in the numbers 4 and 1. But ultimately, the number 5 carries with it this energy of the liminal space. And the number 5, when you see the number 5, and when you get the message of the number 5, when Spirit is letting you know that change is coming, that you are in a liminal space, you are at the threshold, you are at a crossroads in your life, you could begin to see the number 5. The number 5 stands in the center of the first set of numbers in numerology 1 through 4, and the last set of numbers 6 through 9. And the number 5 is the bridge. It is that crossing point. It is constantly moving. It is ushering in change in a major way. And sometimes change can be hard. It can be challenging because we want that energy of the number 4 where things will stay the same, where things are solid, where things are dependable, where we can always fall back to what is known. You know, number 4 is the house in which we grew up in. It's got the 4 sides, the 4 walls, it's got the solid structure. But the number 5 comes when it's time to leave the house, when it's time to leave what is known, what we can fall back to. And it is asking us to move forward in a way that we haven't before. It is asking us to accept a new adventure. I think about the energy of the 5 now. When I'm making this recording, The world is on lockdown. The sun is in the sign of Aries, and Venus is in Gemini. Both of those energies are energies of movement and change and instability. And very much so representative of the energy of the number 5. Whereas in ancient times, in the Pythagorean numerology, it is accepted that the number 5 is ruled by Mercury. And of course, Mercury is always moving and highly intelligent. He's Hermes with the winged feet flying around. And that is the energy of the number 5. There is this great independence that is to the number 5. So when we see 5, when we are getting a message from Spirit, and it's coming by way of the number 5, when you are seeing numbers that equal the number 5, or you are seeing the number 5 itself, then it is God, it is Spirit, it is the divine, letting you know that change is coming, that change is at your door, that it is time for you to embrace a level of independence, a level of unknowing, but knowing that you will be safe, knowing that you will have the answers that you need, knowing that you will be okay, because in your past you have the foundation, you have the knowledge of the foundation on which you've built, tethered to you. And then on the other side is nurturing and caring in the number 6 that you are also tethered to. So this change that we are all experiencing now, found within the number 5, we can rest assured that we have a foundation within us. Now, we may have to dig deep. We may have to dig deep to find the reassurance that we have a foundation within us, from our past, from the things that we've learned, from the things that we've experienced, from the things that we have overcome, and the things that we have endured, to help us at this particular crossroad. And embracing the future, knowing that there is nurturing on the other side for us, there is care on the other side for us as we make our way forward into the adventure, as we travel to this unknown territory. So, all right, so that's what I wanted to offer for you to think about just when you see the number 5. Let me add to this before I sign off. When you see the number 41 and it stands out to you and you say, that's a message for me. You just know in your gut, that's a message from Spirit for me. The 41, the 4 is there and the 1 is there. So the 4 being there is letting you know that there is a maturity that is leading the way for the change that is coming in your life. And it is that you are initiating it. That's where we see the number one. The number one is about leading out. It is about starting. It is about taking the initiative to change your life. So when you see the 41, it is like the magician card in the tarot. It is that you, with your own initiative, you have decided to make the necessary changes. And even if we look at that, if we look at the magician card in the tarot, we see all of the 4 elements. And then the magician is there, representing spirit. And so there is the number 5. So 41 is about this mature, grounded decision making that you are taking so that you can have the change, have the freshness, have the newness, have the adventure that you want, and you are ushering that into your own life. When you see the 23, 5, it is 2 plus 3, of course, equals 5. So with the number 2, it is about working with other people. It is an energy like Libra, like the Libran energy. And then the number 3 is about other people as well. So with the 23, we have change that is initiated by others who are in your life. But change is coming nonetheless. But it's different than the 41. It is about other people being brought into your life and working with other people, and their energy mixing with yours that brings about the change that is being ushered into your life. I also want to add, when we look at the 5-pointed star, the pentagram, and then the pentacle, which is the pentagram within the circle. When we look at that, penta meaning 5, it is this understanding that we have that with the number 5 being about the liminal space, within witchcraft, the 5-pointed star, with the point at the top, represents the 4 elements and spirit. So there we see again this idea of the liminal space, this idea of a threshold and in between spirit and the natural world. It is being able to, it represents being able to tap into the spirit realm to aid life in the natural mundane realm. That's what we see signified with the pentagram. It is a representation of spirit mixed with the natural world. When we think about our 5 fingers, when we think about on each hand, and our 5 toes on each foot, and our head, our arms, and our legs, representing the 5 again. And we see just within the human body that we are this representation, a walking representation of change, of evolution, of spirit, our soul, spirit within us, mixed with the earth, mixed with the mundane, mixed with the natural. And in that, as we Tap into spirit. Again, talking about this message of the 5, reminding us about our connection to spirit, our connection to change, where we are constantly flowing and not stagnant, constantly building upon what we've learned in the past as we face the future and what will nurture us in the future. And then connecting with spirit to be able to manifest in this realm. The number 5 represents that liminal space, represents this being in a constant place where we are always able to tap into spirit, always able to connect with spirit, to connect with the ancestors, to connect with the divine in whatever way that works for us. And all of the symbols of the energy of the 5 that is a part of our bodies, that is a part of our senses, our 5 senses, and a part of the world in which we live. The number 5, this constant state of change that we live in, it serves as a reminder to us that we are able to grow through our connection as we connect to spirit, bring that information into our mundane lives, apply it, pay attention to spirit, look for the signs and symbols and messages of spirit so that we can grow, so that we can make the best of our incarnation in these bodies. Okay, so that is what I had to say about the number 5. I hope that it helps you and blesses you, and I wish all of you well who hear this, and I will be back soon with the next thing that is on my mind.